Hey, what's up? So I recently got a chance to check out the Vueroid Dashcam, more specifically the Zero FHD, the entry-level dashcam from Vueroid. So this camera basically shoots a full HD resolution from both front and the rear cameras at 30 fps. So this camera comes in at a price of about 15,999 on Amazon, and you can purchase it straight away on Amazon India. That being said, this camera does offer some unique features which you should definitely know about. Starting off with the fact that the front camera, which shoots a full HD resolution, is based on the previous gen StarVis sensor, specifically the StarVis IMX307. The rear camera on the other hand gets a CMOS sensor and also shoots a full HD resolution at 30 fps. The Zero FHD does feature a very unique LED design on the front camera unit, and of course it does get a LED at the back, and even during parking monitoring the LED will blink in a pulse mode in order to indicate that the camera is working in a parking monitoring mode. The front camera's windshield mount does tend to have a floating kind of a design, and of course the front camera's windshield mount is detachable from the main unit, which means you can easily remove the camera whenever you need and just place it back on the windshield whenever you want. Additionally, this camera also offers you a hardwire kit right inside the box. There's no 12-volt charger provided, there's no USB cable provided, so you need to hardwire the camera, and it's present right inside the box. So along with the hardware kit, the Vueroid Zero FHD also gets a pre-inserted 32GB memory card. Now since this camera gets a hardware kit, you get parking monitoring straight out of the box. And the good thing is, the camera does support low power parking monitoring mode, which means it has a battery voltage protection feature which will ensure that the battery of your car does not run out. Now specifically in the settings of the camera, you can set the particular voltage at which you want the hardware kit to cut off the power. So this is a very good thing because not many cameras offer this, and the Vueroid offering you a specific voltage pre-cut feature is definitely a good sign. This camera does feature an impact detection mode, a motion detection mode, and of course also gets a time-lapse monitoring mode. Additionally, this camera also gets a overheat protection feature, which means the camera will enter a low power mode whenever it detects overheat, and when it comes back to normal, it shifts back to the time-lapse mode. So this camera does get a speaker, which means you get voice notifications for all the important events, all the important actions that might need to be taken with this camera. You also get a format-free memory card system from the Vueroid camera, which means the camera can allocate certain space for certain actions such as the driving priority or event priority or parking mode priority. So this means the data is properly organized and you won't need a frequent formatting of the memory card to extend the lifespan. So since the dashcam does get a built-in Wi-Fi, you can easily connect the dash camera to your smartphone via the Vueroid app, which is available on both Apple App Store and Google Play Store. The app is simple, straightforward, easy to use, and of course the camera also gets a dedicated PC viewer. So within the PC viewer you get more detailed info, you get all the G sensor data, you get the front and the rear recordings, you can access the videos categorically, and you have more detailed info about each and every trip which can access via the PC viewer. Lastly, the camera also supports firmware upgrades, and even in my personal usage I got a firmware upgrade, and this was a pretty straightforward and a simple and a easy firmware upgrade which will enhance the usability of the dashcam. So now that you have some idea about the camera, let's dive down and get into the detail of the unboxing of the on-screen settings for the Vueroid FHD, since it doesn't get a display, and also show you the full review of the video quality from the front and the rear camera in day and night time. Let's take a look. So here's the Vueroid Zero FHD dual channel dashcam which I just received, and straight up this is the main box pack along with the branding and the dash camera diagram. Let's quickly take a look at the features that they have printed straight up on the box. So this camera has a full HD dual channel setup, supports HDR, gets night vision, also gets a power saving mode, is supported by a Wi-Fi app, has technology built in to prevent discharge of your battery, supports a format-free memory card system, and also supports time-lapse recording. Some other technical details have also been provided that this is a 2-channel FHD plus FHD 30 fps, supports H.264 high profile encoding, also supports up to 256GB of memory card, supports HDR, night vision, power saving mode, Wi-Fi and G sensor, gets a format-free file management system supported by Vueroid app for both Android and iOS, and it also gets a Vueroid PC viewer for both Windows and Mac. So first up you get this quick start guide for the Zero FHD, very essential and very important to somebody who is taking a look at the camera for the first time, this gets all the important aspects, including the items included in the box, the part names, the key features, installation process, and even the product specifications. So you can just take a look at the product specifications by pausing the video if you are interested. And here is the main front camera. So a very uniquely designed Vueroid Zero FHD camera. It has this floating windshield mount kind of an effect, and you can see that the front module itself is rotatable up to some extent. Here is the main lens module. You have this windshield mount. On one side you get an on and off switch. You also get a memory card slot right here, within which you get a free memory card of 32 GB. So this is a 32 GB free memory card inserted, or should I say pre-inserted, into the dash cam. There's no display on the camera, but at the back you get dedicated buttons for voice, for recording, and for Wi-Fi. Nothing else on the other side, and you get the Vueroid Zero FHD branding right at front. On top of the windshield mount you get two ports, one for power and another for the rear camera connection. So this camera is basically compatible even with cars which have vertical windshield. So as you can see right now, I'm holding this vertically, so the lens module is now directed towards the front. So this indicates that the camera can be fit in cars with vertical windshields as well. So this is the rear camera, which too shoots a full HD resolution. The lens module is placed at the center. The windshield mount is like completely enclosing the camera itself, and the camera is rotatable 360 degrees. So you can basically turn the camera towards the cabin of the car as well. For the connection to the main front camera, you have port on one side, nothing else on the other side. So here's the rear camera cable. Gets an L-shaped connector at one end and a straight connector at the other end. So this is the main front power cable. On one side you get a L-shaped connector which plugs in into the main front camera, and on the other end you get a hardwire kit. So this is basically a ACC, VCC, and a grounding wire. So you don't get a 12-volt connector or a USB cable. So you get labeled wires. So the red wire is the ACC, black is the grounding wire, and the yellow is the VCC. So you'll need to get the fuse tab connectors yourself in order to connect it to these wires and connect them, or should I say hardwire them, to your car. So that was all the contents in the box. So this is the Vueroid Zero FHD front camera and the rear camera together. So in terms of features, I think it offers some really cool features, including parking mode features and the battery voltage protection features. And it's going to be interesting to see the kind of video quality this provides, since this offers a full HD resolution. So let's jump on and take a look at all the other details of the Vueroid Zero FHD camera. So once the dash cam is mounted and it's turned on, so as you can see there is no display at the back. So in order to change any settings, in order to access settings or even access the videos, you will need to turn on the Wi-Fi of the camera. Wi-Fi is turning on. So this is the dedicated Wi-Fi button given right here with a green LED logo. So once it's turned on, you need to head into the Wi-Fi settings of your smartphone. So the Vueroid Zero FHD has currently shown up within my Wi-Fi settings. Let's into the Vueroid app. So now the dashcam is actively connected to the smartphone, and you can confirm that by clicking the live view button. So you can see here the front camera is streaming on my smartphone, and if I do click on the channel 2, the rear camera is now streaming on my smartphone. So now let's just head into the settings of this dashcam to show you all the details and all the settings which you can change and play about with this camera. So once you head into the settings, the first option which you get is the recording quality. You can select low, medium or high. I have currently selected it as high. Then you have the discharge cutoff voltage. So you have a maximum voltage of 12.3 volts and a minimum of 11.7 volts or 11 volts for the external battery. I've currently selected 12.1 volts because I find that sufficient. Then you have the discharge cutoff time. You can set it to up to 48 hours for the time duration of parking recording, or you can set it to a minimum of 1 hour, and you can completely turn it off as well. Then you have automatic parking mode on. Then you have the parking mode event alert. You can set it to off or on. Then you have the smart low power mode, which you can turn off or keep it to 1 minute, 1 hour, 3 hours, 6 hours or 12 hours. Then you have HDR. You can set it to off or on, and if you do set it to on, you have a HDR timer wherein you can set the always on, or you can set a night time automatically. Then you have the rear record in parking. You can set the rear camera to record in parking or not. You can set it to off or on. Then you have parking record delay. You can set the camera to enter parking mode after a duration of 90 seconds or after a duration of 3 minutes, or there is no delay at all. Then in terms of event recording, you have driving impact sensitivity, low, mid or high. Then you have parking impact sensitivity, the same settings. Then you have front motion sensitivity and rear motion sensitivity. So you basically have impact sensitivity and motion sensitivity both included in this camera. Then you have the voice recording, you can set it to off or on. You have the speaker volume. Then you have the event notifications. Following that, you have the time setting. You can set the time and date according to your geographical location. Then you have the memory allocation within the memory card. You can set it to driving priority, parking priority, event, or driving only. Then you have the security LED. You can set it to off or on. Then you have the Wi-Fi auto on. You can set the Wi-Fi to turn on automatically with the camera, or you can keep it off. Then you have the Wi-Fi AP. You can customize it right here. And you have the password, which you can change as well. Then you have the firmware upgrade option. Then you have the voice pack upgrade option. Then you have device information, and then factory reset option. You can also head into the history option, wherein it's going to show you the driving recording time, parking recorded time. It's going to show you a detailed graph with individual timestamps, where you can see the blue color shows the driving time and the green color shows the parking time. So this gives you a complete overview, and even in terms of event recording, it gives you driving impact, parking motion, etc. You have it in a day, week, you have in a weekly option, you have month option or a year option. So you can see and view all of these things based on your requirement. Then you have the file view option, wherein you can access the recorded files and view them straight up on your smartphone. So this was the quick overview of all the in-app settings for the Vueroid app in the Zero FHD Dashcam. Taking a look at the video quality now, the front camera shoots a full HD 1080p resolution at 30 fps, gets about 16,000 kbps of bitrate and 114 MB per minute of file size. And interestingly, the front camera does get a previous gen Starvis IMX307 sensor. So you can see that the camera is having a good level of exposure and saturation levels. Also in terms of contrast, it's looking quite decent. In terms of sharpness, does lack a bit due to a lesser resolution aspect, but overall I think the field of view of this camera is simply good. Close to 120 to 140 degrees field of view, wide enough to cover a large area in front of the car. So you get all the details you might be asking for from a dashcam video. You can get all sorts of evidence you might want from the dashcam video. You can also notice that the camera does offer you a real-time battery voltage display right at the bottom, along with some other information including the date and time. Moving to the nighttime, this tends to have some level of high exposure for the street lights and for the tail lights, since this doesn't get a Starvis 2 sensor. The overall video quality is usable. You have some level of illumination. I mean, the dark areas look more darker, the well lit areas look more brighter than they're supposed to be. Even in terms of number plate readability at a close range under the glare of headlights, they might not just be possible, but you do get an overview of all the activities in front of the camera. You do get an overview of all the vehicular movements from the camera, and that's just what an entry level full HD camera can do for you, and I think the Zero FHD is doing just that. Moving on to take a look at the rear camera. So this too is on par with the front camera, even though this doesn't get a Starvis sensor like the front. The rear does offer a good level of video quality, although in terms of field of view it might be just a tad bit lesser than the front camera. The overall exposure levels also do seem to be decent, and this camera too offers the same 30 fps frame rate from the rear, so that's a good thing. So a definite everyday usable quality from the rear camera of the Zero FHD. Taking a look at the nighttime, you do see that characteristic glow of headlights in the middle of the screen because of the glare the headlights produced when they are directed towards the camera. Similar to the front camera, the dark areas look more darker and the well lit areas look more brighter. So the video quality from the rear camera during nighttime is just about average and nothing much which you can extract from this. Taking a look at the number plate readability from the front camera, a decent looking number plate. All letters and numbers are pretty much visible, but do note that this will work only at a very close range of less than 5 to 10 feet. Beyond that, you might get a blurry image. In terms of parking recording, this camera does offer you a time-lapse mode, and this is what the video footage looks like. So what do you think? I think the Vueroid FHD offers some really cool features, especially in terms of parking monitoring. And for those who are looking for an entry-level dashcam, who want to have a proper and a balanced full HD resolution from front and the rear, and more importantly, you want to monitor your car when it's parked at night or in strange places, and you want the hardware kit right inside the box with a free memory card, I definitely think the Vueroid Zero FHD might just do the trick for you. And just in case if you're interested in grabbing this camera, I've given you the purchase link right down below in the description. Go ahead and grab it straight away. If you do have any doubts or queries regarding this cam, just write them down in the comments. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if this video has helped you out in one or the other way, go ahead, hit that subscribe button of Gizmobeep right now, smash that like button and share this video with all your friends who are looking for an entry-level dash cam. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.